And we are live. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of Rage Across the Dreaming. Dallas and the red cat named Carina had enjoyed the early hours of the evening at the beach, at a beach party. Um, some shenanigans were had. Dallas actually got in the water and swam with her Queen of the Sea, and then she abused a poor crow. But to be fair, that crow had it coming. And then as they were getting ready to leave together, Dallas told Carina that she had a family emergency to take care of and that she would call her as soon as she was back out. And after sort of tucking the other seekers in and making sure that they were all asleep and well taken care of, Dallas went out to a local gym that is nice and Garu friendly, and she gives Karina a call and asks her if she would like to come work out.
Carina would obviously answer with a fuck yeah, because Carina's very pro working out.
So Dallas gives the address.
And Carina will make her way there after having a snack. Because of course Carina would leave the house right after having a big snack, which would probably enable at least 3 hoagies and like a carton of soda, and make her way towards said obscure gym.
And it's really a little more than a hole in the wall. It's got a locker room on the far end. It's got a front desk. It's got a few weight machines, which are mostly you put your weights on a bar and you lift them in various positions. There's a boxing ring, a few bags, and then there's a small side room, which is mainly used for like wrestling and MMA training. And Dallas is currently sat on a bench in front of that, sort of wrapping up her hands, dressed in like like yoga pants and a tank top.
Karina would come sauntering in with a gym bag. She's decked out in her regular board shorts and tank top. Different tank top than regular, because she does have more than one no matter what Brooke says. And sneakers, and she'll kind of wave at her to Dallas and look for a changing room so she can actually get into regular, working out clothes.
Dallas will, walk up to her, smile, give her a hug and a kiss, and then just say, "Over there, to the left."
Thank you. Karina will wink and go over to change, and she will also come back in a sports bra, muscle shirt, and working out leggings. Because no flimsy sort of very large baggy stuff for her. No, fighting you'd have tight, so you're aerodynamic and movable. Kind of making Dallas. All right, so where is this place anyway? Like, do you normally go over here, or is it just random?
Dallas takes a moment and is like lost. She's checking Karina out.
Of course she is.
And she finally kind of snaps back to reality, and she's like, she kind of gesture to the wrestling room. In here. I normally train in other places, but this is a nice air-conditioned space, and it's open to the public.
Gotcha.
In the back of her head, and there's lots of less sawdust. And so she'll sort of shove the door open because it's a shitty place and the door sticks. But it's basically a room dominated by mats on the wall and mats on the floor.
Noted. Karina will kind of walk over to the middle and start doing a couple of stretches. Kind of release tension in her shoulders. Regular workout start.
Dallas stands there for a minute, just kind of surveying, because she can't help it, and she just has her arms crossed with a smirk on her face.
Carina will stop, stare at Dallis. Sure you appreciate the show, but shouldn't you also stretch?
Dallas just gets a big smile on her face and walks over and begins to stretch out across from Carina.
Carina will continue with her stretches, but is also staring, just with a smile, because she's not ashamed of the staring. She's just glad that, you know what, equal show. Quid pro quo. She thinks that's what it says. She's pretty sure that's the fucking word, but you know what? Whatever.
Upon seeing Carina kind of checking her out, she might do slightly more provocative stretches.
To which Carina will snicker because she knows exactly what she's doing. So subtle, so very subtle.
About as subtle as a sledgehammer to the face.
They're both of their sort of way.
Yeah. So once they are all nice and sort of limbered up and warmed up, and Dallas will sort of do a few just kind of shadow boxing moves, moving her hands at fairly skilled speed. She'll kind of look over at Carina.
Carina will nod approvingly. Very nice, very nice. And for Carina, she actually likes to just build up a little bit of her arms before doing anything. She'll start doing some push-ups just to strengthen that area, get it used to the tension. So that way she doesn't fucking cramp up if she throws a fucking punch. Like last time.
Feeling like there's a botch in there somewhere.
Bad botch. That was then answered with a pretty good punch. So she got to cover her botch.
You're in dice roller 1.
Mm-hmm. Moving towards it now. No phone, no phone. What are you doing? Aha. The dice guns are good.
And
number 1?
Mhm.
Sweet, I see it.
Cool. So Dallas is kind of looking over at Carina and being the get that she is, thinking there's no way anybody who isn't a get, or Garu for that matter, can hurt me without a gun or a knife. So she's just like, well, let's see what you got.
Carina will get up. All right. I know that you can take a punch better than some. So I at least can play nicer with you. Or I don't have to play as nice. She says, thinking back to her kind of messy spar with Gabe a few weeks ago.
Oh no.
Poor Gabe and his ribs. The wee hunter did not expect that.
So Dallas will she kind of starts bouncing on her heels and then on like the soles of her feet, and she squares up with Carina, takes on a fighting stance, and she's just like, you get the first hit. Let's see what you got.
All right, and I'd ask if you could please check on the side chat.
All right, so Dallas will kind of do a few flourishes with her arms, and she's gonna roll her Dex plus Brawl. Yeah, so she does a couple of really good moves out there, not aimed at Carina, but she'll then kind of turn to Carina and yeah.
Okay.
Ready to receive.
Carina on her part will throw a couple moves in Dallas's general area. Not too flashy, but just trying to get into her space at 3 successes.
All right. So you need only 1 to hit, and then the extra 2 carry over. So you take your strength, and then you add your extra successes.
Okay.
Because for straight punching, it's just your straight strength, unless you're doing like a special maneuver.
Okay, so do I just... All right. Un momento. Which is which? Which one?
It's going to be a total. Every extra success you have, is an extra
the first one?
dice. Yeah, so it'd be 60-10.
Okay, gracias.
So you get
1 success.
1 success, so she takes 1 bashing. And Dallis is going to roll her soap, which is her stamina. She's not wearing any armor at the moment. So her stamina is 3. D10 is difficulty 6. Ooh. Yeah, so Carina kind of pops Dallis in the nose.
Carina will kind of step back a bit. You good?
Dallis just she sat there for a second blinking, just like, okay. And she will turn around and she will throw a punch in Carina's general direction. And this one is going to be a called shot. So she's aiming for a specific area.
Okay.
And so she is going to try and sort of kick Carina in the thigh. So when you do a called shot, it's +2 difficulty.
Okay.
Unless you're aiming for like an eye or something, in which case it's +3. So it'll be difficulty 8. So Dallis has 2 successes. And her strength is 4, so it is going to be 5d10. And difficulty 6. So 2. So you would roll your stamina to soak.
Okay.
And if Carina has armor in an actual combat situation, you can add the armor's rating to your soak pool.
Okay. Let's see how Carina does. All right, Carina soaks 1.
So yeah, Carina gets back. They trade a level of bashing.
Okay. There's that. Okay, with that kick, Carina kind of tense up, rub her leg a little, and answer with her own sort of kick in any general direction.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be... So you said strength and...
When you're rolling for your attack, you roll Dex and Brawl.
Dex and Brawl, okay. Gracias.
De nada.
So Carina's gonna kick at Dallis, and you said strength?
So yeah, it'll be strength +2. So you have 3 successes.
And D10. Ah, okay. So Carina didn't really put much power in it.
It just kind of hits Dallis and So Dallis is going to go for a legitimate kick this time.
Okay.
And it's just a standard body shot. Dallis is going to roll her Dex and Brawl at difficulty 7. 10. And the nice thing about a kick, even though it is harder, it does strength plus 1 damage. Oh, Jesus. Ah.
Okay, then.
So, strength plus 1 would make it the 4 that carry over plus the 1 from the kick would make it her strength plus 5, which would mean that she has 9 dice of bashing to throw your way.
Got you.
So now you need to try and soak 3.
Okay. Carina soaks 2.
So you take 1.
All right.
I just need to check something real quick because I always forget. When you start taking damage, one thing that you do is you get dice penalties the more injured you get.
Okay.
So let me just pull up a character sheet here so I can look at the health boxes. So your first level of damage of any kind, whether it's aggravated, lethal, or bashing, is just bruised. So there's no penalty. So in this case, Carina would be at hurt, which means for any physical actions that she take, or any action other than damage or soaking, or a willpower roll, in a very general combat sense, is going to be at a -1 dice.
Okay.
So Dallis is going to, this time, she is going to just throw a hand. She's just going to do a regular punch. Nice. Why are you like this today, Discord?
What's up with Discord? Does it like you right now?
Apparently, she's got 6 successes on an attack.
Nice.
So 5 of those are going to carry over, so it's 9 dice of damage. But it's, you know what? Dallis just doesn't have the heart to actually put all of her oomph into it.
Alrighty. So Carina.
So next thing that you can do now is that, let's say you didn't want to work with a dice penalty. You can spend a point of willpower to ignore wound penalties for a turn. That's up to you if you want to do that. Since this isn't life or death, it doesn't matter because Dallis is not going to kill you.
Yeah, I should hope not. Not right now.
No.
Well, Carina's going to answer with her own kind of punch. And that's going to be... Did you say punching with Dex Brawl?
Yep.
Okay. Making notes, sorry. I am a nerd.
There's no problem.
Alright,
so you get a success.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be your straight strength.
Straight strength. Okay.
Alright, so I have to soak 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dallis has a stamina of 3. 10. And she soaks just exactly 1.
Alright.
So Dallis kind of smirks over at Carina, liking what she's seeing so far, and Dallis is going to up the ante a little bit, and she's going to go for a grapple. And a grapple is, I roll my strength and brawl, and then you get to contest it.
Okay. How would I contest it?
Basically, I roll my strength brawl versus your strength brawl.
Oh, okay.
And if you succeed, I don't grapple you.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
It's a very important maneuver in werewolf, because when you have a frenzying Garu, grappling them is one way to keep them from killing everybody.
That is a good thing to do.
So Dallis has 3 successes to try and grapple as she reaches out to grab a hold of Carina.
All right.
And you have more.
Karina just kind of, well, I guess, so to say that as Dallis goes to grapple Karina, Karina just kind of maneuvers about to avoid said grapple.
She the way I kind of envision it is that she's kind of throwing her hands out and sort of manhandling Dallis back.
And actually, I'm going to have Karina try to grapple Dallis.
All right. Damn.
All right, let's see.
5, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 6. So you actually have a hold of Dallis now.
So as Dallis is trying to manhandle Karina, Karina turns about and grapples Dallis.
Mm-hmm. And when you have somebody in a grapple, you can do one of 2 things. You can either hold them, and they have to try and break out of your grapple, or you can apply damage by sort of applying the squeeze or kind of like slamming them around, like, WWE style, that sort of thing. And it would be your strength plus your successes on the grapple. So in your case, Dallas's grapple cancels out all but one of yours, so it'd be your straight strength that you can apply in bashing.
Okay. I think Karina's going to try that, but not so much to hurt Dallis, but more as to kind of toss her on the floor, depending on how she does. So you said it'd be my strength plus just that one success?
It would be your straight strength. If if I'd only gotten like 4, or if I'd gotten less than 5, okay, you would have extra successes.
So just straight strength?
Yep.
All right.
Oh.
So with this, Karina kind of holds Dallis and throws them both on the side, having Dallis slam onto the floor and Karina kind of rolling on her top, and then rolling off of Dallis to stand up above.
Yeah, Dallis kind of, she takes the hit. She's now at 2 health levels. And kind of hitting the ground with a bit of a surprised look on her face, because she's far too overconfident. She'll kind of she'll look up, and that just kind of look of, oh shit. And then she'll just kind of smile at Carina and roll up onto her feet.
Carina actually leaned down to help Dallis up.
All right, Dallis will take that, and as she comes up, Dallis is going to try and initiate a grapple.
Another grapple.
Another grapple.
Another. Oh, the grapples.
Five successes.
All right, you win.
All right, so you have 1 success against my 5, so you cancel out one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have 4 successes, so I can do my strength plus 3, which will be 7 d10. Okay, so she throws 4 bashing in your general direction.
Okay.
As she will slam Carina. And then Carina can soak with her stamina.
All right, let me soak on the soak.
Not bad.
Carina soaks up 3.
So yeah, Dallis basically, as she comes up, Carina's pulling her up, and Dallis uses the momentum of being hoisted up to actually kind of wrap both arms around Carina. and she will sort of plant her feet and twist with her hips and slam Carina down in sort of the same fashion, except only this time Dallis will go down with her, and because we are still in the grapple, she can hang on to it, and on your turn, which is the next turn, you can actually roll your strength brawl to see to break out of it. But as they hit the ground, Dallis kind of gets her face close enough to Carina's, and there's just this very big grin on her face.
Carina also has a very large grin, and she'll actually kind of snicker. So you do know what you're doing. I mean, I kind of figured, but proof is in the pudding.
Trained a really, really long time, but you are no pushover. I like it.
I should fucking hope not. She says, thinking back to her very precarious sort of childhood. She kind of gets this odd look, but shakes it off and continues to smile at Dallis. This is a good idea.
Great idea.
I'm actually glad you can take a fucking punch. Seriously, I balk at the idea of you throwing a punch at Ron. Poor sweet seal baby.
Well, I'm built pretty sturdy, and I can take a lot
sturdy
more
is
than a
good.
punch.
Carina kind of gets a sleazy smile on her face. Hey, sturdy really is good. And you said that Carina could try to roll out of the grapple?
Yep. Strength brawl, and it will break it.
Okay.
Alright, and I have to roll my strength brawl against yours. And you have
5.
5.
believe.
That's a fair good number of successes. Jesus. I think somebody's
Carina
getting out
has
of
her.
grapple.
Carina has her quote unquote strengths.
Yeah, you knocked Dallis off.
Kind of bucks Dallis off with a twist of her hips and her arm, kind of throws her a bit, and Carina gets up. kind of leans over at Dallis with a very, very, very very big leer on her face.
Dallis will pop up, and she'll walk up to Carina and get very close. And she's kind of got this toothy grin, and she'll take a step back. She'll raise up both hands, and she's going to throw a punch at Carina. And I apologize. I forget that Dallis is not in Carino, so she is not throwing at 8 dice. She's only throwing at 7.
Oh, okay.
My mistake.
Yeah. Carina's impressed either way.
Oh, shit.
Does Dallis magically lift Carina into the air? Because she might feel some ways about that.
No, because she doesn't say, she says Leviosa, not Leviosa. Oh, no, Dallis has no successes.
Does Dallis get the cramp?
She doesn't get a cramp, she just misses. Because it wasn't a botch.
Alright. Carina, on her end, will use the miss to throw a punch of her own. And that's 2 extra successes?
That is 2 successes, so it'll be your strength plus 1.
Oh, okay. 2. Strength plus 1. Oh, yes, I forgot. Thank you. The one. Stupid one. Why are you such a pain in the ass, ones?
Believe me, when we're playing for keeps and werewolf, those ones literally have killed people.
Yeah. So all Dallis has to do is soak a 1.
She will try. She soaks exactly one.
Hey!
So she
Trading
is,
blows, the way to get to a red cap and an Arun's heart. Or at least to
right?
get some.
All right, so what is Dallas going to do here? Let me pull up our combat chart so we can go through some of the other maneuvers that you can do. Educating through doing, always the best way.
Yep. I've got so many notes right now.
And actually, I am going to give you a link. It's a very helpful resource. It'll be in your Facebook Messenger.
Gracias.
De nada. All right.
Well, yes, I was looking for this sheet earlier.
Dallas is not going to do any dirty fighting maneuvers.
That would definitely change the mood a bit.
Yeah. So Dallas is going to try for a sweep. To try and knock Carina off her feet.
Okay. Sweet. Dallis. Looking. Which page is sweep on? I'm looking, I can't find.
It'll be, if you look at the outline, general hand-to-hand maneuvers.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Welcome. And though it's not right there, because it doesn't have the, oh, there it is. If you scroll up a little bit, just past like armor and shields and all that, there's a,
sorry.
it's all right. There is a number of different statuses that you can have, like blinded, knocked down, immobilized, stunned, that sort of thing. So, yeah. So basically, what happens if she has a successful attack or a successful sweep, you will be knocked off your feet, and you would have to use your turn getting back up rather than fighting.
Gotcha.
So she's going to roll her dice, 7 dice at, actually no, 6, because she does have a wound penalty now. And difficulty 8. Right, so she has 2 successes. And yeah. So Dallas will throw her leg out, and she kind of lowers her body, and she hooks that leg behind Carina's to knock her flat on her backside.
Gotcha, okay.
And then Dallas will stand up, and she will offer out a hand to Carina with a wink.
Carina will grab onto the hand and use this to try to grapple or pull Dallas down alongside her so she can go and twist them both.
Damn. That is 4 successes. So with Strength Brawl, Dallas has a pool of 8 minus 1, which is only 7. Also, so just so you know, the wound penalties will never affect your soak or damage pools.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh, you've got. Oh my God! Dallas botched.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, when you grab a hold of her and pull her, you catch her completely off guard, being the arrogant ass that she is. And for the sake of for the sake of honoring a botch and a baller ass grapple roll, I would say that yeah, you can add on like 2 dice to your damage roll.
Okay, damage would be strength.
It would be strength plus 3, but add 2, so it'd be your strength plus 5 because she botched and she's going down hard.
So strength plus 5?
Yeah.
That's 9 dice.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, you're still hoping?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dallis will take 3 as she gets slammed on her back hard, and completely at Carina's mercy because Carina still has the grapple held. And Dallis kind of lets out this ooh.
Carina will just kind of sit happily on top of Dallis with a smirk. That was a nice sweep you did.
That was a nice slam you did. So Dallis took 3. She had 2, so she's at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, she's at mauled.
Oh jeez.
So yeah.
Carina's mauled your girlfriend.
Dallis is at a -2 dice penalty, but what she's going to try to do is she is going to try and switch or break out of the grapple.
Shouldn't be too hard. All Carina's doing is just kind of holding her down with her lower body. So hopefully Dallis will be able to get out.
We will see. And actually, I will go ahead, even though this isn't mechanically how it would normally happen, just for the experience, anytime you're on the ground in like a knockdown effect, if you're trying to fight from the ground, it would be at a +2 difficulty if you're the person that's on the wrong end of that. So I'm going to do this for Dallis at a difficulty of 8.
Okay.
She does not get out of it. She is still held down. And yeah, Carina can either apply damage or she can just hold Dallis there because she can't get out.
Carina, simply thinking of bothering Dallis, will actually lean down and kind of poke Dallis in the ribs and attempt to find a tickle spot for simple torture.
Dallas's eyes go wide. A look of despair comes over her face. And you poke her in the side, and she lets out this sound that I don't think Carina's ever heard out of her, ever. Dallis is ticklish. And she just kind of lets out this almost squealing giggle, and she will again try to break this hold, and she is going to spend a willpower point to ignore wound penalties. Like, no.
Again, how do you... Carina's just going for the weak points.
Dallis can't get out. She's hapless.
Oh my god, was that a botch?
No, it's just a failure.
Okay, I was about to be like, oh my god, not again, Dallis. So Carina's just like cackling with sheer schadenfreude, just like ha 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 ha.
Dallis at this point is just like, no, stop. This is so undignified.
Carina will just keep on laughing, and eventually she'll kind of slow down and just kind of peer down at Dallis. So, what do you think? Good fun?
If Dallis is able to move a little bit, she'll kind of sit herself up.
She will, but she'll have a lap full of Carina. Because she's not moving, she's comfortable. Fuck it.
Dallis will, she kind of gets herself up with kind of a grunt to the point where she's sitting sort of face to face with her. just kind of using her arms to support herself. And this time she's just kind of got that, that very bleary-eyed stare directly at Carina, and she'll lean forward for a kiss.
And Carina will also lean forward. Happy. She's really happy with what's going on. Dallis is actually impressive. Someone has actually impressed Carina. This is not an easy thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. It is not.
And yeah, Dallis will get herself a little bit handsy, but nothing untoward. And
Carina will simply sigh, one day.
And then she will kind of pull back with a smile.
Carina will slowly get up off of Dallis. So, you hungry?
Yeah.
Because after some time of working out, of course Karina's hungry.
I could go for a bite.
I mean, I could too, but food, I mean.
Yeah.
Karina says with a very kind of lizard brain sort of smirk. Karina's all lizard brain, ladies and gentlemen. She is all lizard brain. So, what do you want? Hello, Chinese. There was a really good Indian place around here when I walked over. Delicious food. Karina says, kind of wiping drool. Sorry, my bad.
I've got a lot of food left over from a pretty nice dinner I had the other night. You like spaghetti?
I love spaghetti.
Dallis. This is the part where Dallis hesitates, because this is where she's not in her element. And she chews on her lower lip a bit, and that's when she's kind of gets a little rosy cheeked.
Carina will kind of saunter next to Dallis. I'll even roll perception.
Fair enough. Go for it.
I don't know. Nah, Karina can't really get a good feel. So just kind of nudge Dallis. You good? I mean, we don't have to get spaghetti.
Well, I was thinking if you wanted to, my place isn't too far from here.
Karina will kind of raise an eyebrow, get a little blush on her cheek. Light blush. So, she's not fat. She's a grown woman. Of course she's not blushing. Yeah, that sounds good.
And
if you don't mind.
I don't.
Well, all right then. Let me get my gym bag and we can head over to your place for food. And, what else? Kind of leave it open-ended with that same sort of raised eyebrow. Because Karina gets the feeling Dallis isn't always peeking out of her own sort of clique.
Not always, no.
Carina has often peeked out of her clique. Carina doesn't care. Dallis, though, she gets the feeling is a little bit more reserved in some spaces. She figures it's a cultural thing. Carina will let her set the stage. Carina may be a pirate, but she's at least courteous.
Well, there's no reason why a pirate can't be cordial or even honorable when they want to be.
Yep.
And so Dallis will gather up her things, put them into her bag, and she will take Karina by the hand and lead her down a few blocks. On the way, she texts the two people that she lives with to make themselves scarce for the night. And Dallis will lead Karina up into her apartment. And it is nothing fancy, nothing special, but it's clean and tidy. And Dallis opens the door and lets Karina in front of her.
Karina will kind of follow in. Happy, you know? Dallis seems to be opening up slowly. Karina can be patient.
So this is it. This is where I stay when I'm not at work. Yeah. And she'll close the door, put the chain lock on.
Nice digs. I mean, at least you don't have sand everywhere. You should see my place. Karina kind of thinks back. She's got to clean it when Dallis ever visits her. In fact, she's got to clean a lot. She will enlist Ron with friendship threats of please, 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 please.
Dallis will go to the fridge and pull out this huge tub of spaghetti that her roommate Abby made for them, and she will make 2 large plates and put them into the microwave and set it on. And she will go over to like the little bar island and lean across it and look over at Karina.
Karina will kind of lean over, look at Dallis. Her big smile. Half of it is because food, delicious spaghetti, nice, rich, good red juiciness. And the other half is, of course, Dallis. She's really pretty and lots of red hair. Karina likes red. She really likes red. The smile is a little bit of a mix-up. She's a complicated woman.
Fair enough. Dallis will look over at Karina. So, are you you're good with your hands, but I noticed the other day you wielded a spear.
Yeah. See, it's a family kind of heirloom. Not my favorite thing. I mean, it's got its uses. And it's special, but not really what I'd want. I mean, sure, it's got a great story attached to it. But, yeah. Lots of issues with Seatooth.
Every weapon has its history.
Yeah, this one's lots of family history. She kind of gets a grimace. I do like spears, though. I mean, kind of short, so having a long sort of range really helps. And not that hand-to-hand is fun, she says with a big kind of toothy grin. But sometimes I don't want to do as much damage as I could. Or at least give him some space if I need to leave.
Dallis kind of smirks and she'll hold up her finger like one moment and she'll beeline down the hall to the bedroom in the back, and she comes back out.
Karina will use these moments to check her teeth in her phone. Like, shit, I hope I just don't have food. Just like very inconspicuously. Okay, she's gone. 1 second. Let me just get this one piece of meat out.
And Dallis comes back. Basically, a great hammer.
Karina will kind of open her mouth in a, it's so pretty. Kind of lean her hand out. Dallis, Dallis, this is beautiful.
She'll walk over to Carina. Um, Karina's strength 4, right?
This is so lovely.
Okay.
You're like Vision holding this up, All right? Like, seriously.
Dallis will hold it out with one hand towards Carina. She's just kind of, it's heavy.
Carina will take the great hammer with great care, kind of lift it in her arms a bit, testing its weight. It is, but I imagine that's part of its strength. Kind of like a pendulum.
Once it gets going, it has a fair bit of momentum behind it.
Wow, this is beautiful. Can you just imagining you just crush people with this is honestly the hottest thing. Karina's gonna say, just kind of turning the hammer in her hands, admiring the workmanship. Obvious, like, awe in her eyes.
She'll walk up. She'll get, you know, into Karina's personal space
Personal
level.
space bubble.
Mhm. And she'll kind of twist the hammer over in her hands until the underside of the hammerhead itself is visible. And you'll see a sort of a sigil and then a letter or two letters, D and J.
Karina will tilt her head. Heirloom? Or stamp of creation?
Stamp of creation. This weapon doesn't have much of a history with me yet.
You've got time. Hopefully, right?
Yeah, nothing but.
Karina will kind of look around. One sec. Go towards what she thinks is the bathroom, pull out Seatooth, and walk back because treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll come out carrying Seatooth. And as you can see, it is a giant spear with tassels and like gold kind of wrapping around the middle towards a point where it strengthens it so that it can do a lot more damage. And she'll kind of hold out Seatooth. And you see Seatooth still has like flakes of dried up blood all over it. And no matter how much you kind of scratch at it, it just doesn't come out. Or it does, and then more appears. You kind of hold out Seatooth.
Dallis
Of
will
the
take the weapon
Tejeura.
if it's
Of
offered.
the, yeah, she will offer it. Of the Tejeura, which is my family.
And Dallis will pick it up, and she does a few flourishes with it. She's not quite as experienced with the spear as she is with a sword or a hammer.
I've only had to
And
use. Mhm.
she'll kind of hold it out and kind of take a stance with it, one that she's seen other spear fighters use.
Mhm.
And then she kind of tests the balance of it and then smirks.
If you can imagine, this is not just for fish, it is for big fish of all kinds. And getting hit by this is not exactly as magical as you'd think. She kind of smirks at it. This will definitely make you regret things.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm. It was my father's until my mother took hold of it. And, well, with. I told you her name, right? Varia?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with Varia, and Karina will kind of take this spear back. She'll twist it a little so you kind of see more of the red flakes. With Varia, she, I guess you could say, divorced my father in a very, very graphic way. But for some reason, it made this special. What's more potent than the blood of a pirate king, right? And she'll smile at this, but it's a very dark smile.
Dallis just has this look, a look of kinship at this point, because Dallis has similar aspirations, just not with her father, but a member of her family. And she'll kind of move up, and she will place 2 hands on the sides of Carina's neck and will kiss her again.
Carina will return the kiss, and Seatooth will simply disappear like magic. Who knows? They're both very distracted.
And as Dallis kind of pulls away, she rests her forehead against Carina, and she will simply ask her a question if dinner can wait for a bit.
Carina will kind of smile. It's not a toothy smile or her usual leering kind of hungry smile. It's a very small but sincere smile. And we'll say, dinner can definitely wait.
And I think at that point, we can end our scene.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And y'all have a good night now. Bye.